Let's talk about heartbreak while I do my makeup. I never do get ready with me, so please be patient. Lettuce, skin food, this works as a great primer, I've heard, so I've been trying it. I've been liking it so far. Heartbreak can be one of our biggest activators, and this is typically why I see women specifically grow so much, glow up so much after breakups, if they're able to actually feel and heal through that emotional pain. Our karmic partners are our greatest teachers if we allow them to be, because there's such a magnetic pull to these people, and that magnetic pull comes from the subconscious, or the places of ourselves that we don't allow ourselves to necessarily look because they could be painful. They could be painful because they reflect the patterning that we have had from growing up. This is why if you don't do your healing work, you're going to continue to attract the same person in a different body, same energy in a different body, because spirit is trying to get you to see, the universe is trying to get you to see yourself fully, including the darker parts of yourself. Sorry if I'm looking down. I have a nice little antique mirror that I like to do my makeup in. That magnetic pull that you feel to someone is coming from, it's a call coming from inside the house. And the romance, the love that we project onto another person is really the love that we have for ourselves, even the darker parts of ourselves. And this is what our karmic relationships teach us, is how to love those parts of ourselves that we felt were unlovable, and that's how they ended up in the shadow in the first place. And this isn't to scare you away from love. Love can be a powerful activator. It's one of the most powerful forces here in this lifetime, in this planet, in this universe, whatever you would like to say. But love will kill that ego, okay? And that's the purpose of it. And then we graduate into different levels of love. But let's go back to heartbreak. So when heartbreak happens, you're usually left devastated. And I say that I see most women be able to transform through this pain. Most women have a deeper capacity to feel emotions, especially as they happen. Whereas what we see men, they typically run from their emotions, or depending on, I'm not saying putting all men in the same category. Women typically have the emotional capacity to do emotional alchemy work. I have to blend this out real good. So I just got a new kimchi powder. I've been seeing really good things about this. I'm excited to try this because I do not have the greatest makeup products. I wanted the translucent, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't get it because I have such a light concealer right now that this actually is helping to balance this out. Okay, so when we're talking about emotional alchemy, I mean being able to sit, hold yourself in those emotions, and really find the point of attraction. Meaning, if I did not like this experience with this person, what is this person reflecting back to me? What point of attraction do I have within me that I can heal within myself so that I do not attract another person like this into my life again? And this is where we see women going through this major glow up, right? And how do we find gratitude for our karmic partners? Because our karmic partners are basically doing their job, essentially. And this is where we get to the point of being able to forgive somebody for essentially being who they are and not who we pedestalized, or the romantic projection that we had of them, because really we were wanting to love those parts of ourselves. So this may be a tip for people that are going through heartbreak, or if you have experienced this or you're having a hard time moving through things. Heartbreak can be an activation because in your heart chakra center there could be emotional blockages, areas of you that you are not allowing yourself to look at and love and hold and forgive yourself and release shame around and understand deeper, and to go back and get power that you keep hidden in your subconscious that this person reflected back to you. So when your heart breaks, it literally opens this space to be open with emotion, open with being able to receive love, to give yourself love, to forgive, all of these very high level concepts energetically. Actually, it's an activation to make you more magnetic, because when your heart chakra expands, that is literally the magnet for all the things that you would like to attract in the universe, through gratitude, through love, through your attractiveness. And literally when you look at your energetic field, if you look at your auric field, the heart is the middle between your top 3 chakras and then your lower 3. The heart is that middle space, and that is where your aura is the widest. That is what makes you the most attractive. And that's not to say that men can't do the same process. In fact, they're encouraged to do the same process. I just don't think that they've been taught or have access to, at least early on in their lives, the same tools and resources or spaces in order to know how to process a lot of emotion like that at once. This is why I feel like the feminine, really you see an activation with a lot of feminines when they go through heartbreak with their karmics. Typically this happens later on with masculines. But if you are a woman or identify or lean into the feminine energy more and you have a hard time with processing your emotions, you can also see this avoidant type of behavior in yourself. Or you can see this, you can observe this from other people. Specifically, if you are a spiritual healer, you will find that heartbreaks increase your psychic abilities as well if you do this emotional healing work, because in order to exist in an illusion where you're not able to see the truth of situations or being prompted in karmic relationships, when you stay in them longer than you're supposed to after you've already learned the lesson, you are essentially self-betraying by ignoring your intuition. Because at the end of the day, and I feel like lots of women can identify with this experience, it's not that you didn't know, it's that you chose to exist in a lie. If you are someone that is a healer, if you're highly intuitive, you literally cannot exist in a lie. Spirit will make it so damn uncomfortable that you cannot exist in a lie. You won't even be looking for shit. It'll just pop up into your field. You'll just find it. You'll stumble across it. You'll have a fucking dream. They won't let you rest. This is always meant to bring you back home to yourself, back to your truth, back to your knowing, back to trusting yourself, back to validating your intuition that you've had this whole time, to get you to stop gaslighting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if one of your greatest gifts is your intuition, essentially, quote unquote, the enemy or whatever you would like to call, this opposing energy or entities or whatever, the greatest thing that they can do is separate you from your intuition and your connection to source. And a lot of the times you may find in these karmic relationships that you cannot fully express yourself, or that they are intimidated by your intuition. And this is a reflection of you being intimidated by your own power. Even as I'm speaking about this, being intimidated by your own power is also being intimidated by the level of responsibility and integrity it requires for you to be in your power. Meaning that if you know that you can't exist in a lie, that means that you would have to make the decision to leave that person, you know what I'm saying, and take them off that pedestal and all these things. Stop romanticizing them and to romanticize your love, to romanticize yourself and to love yourself. And this is an unavoidable thing that we have to do, but we prolong the process typically, and we go through these karmic relationships because there are more things to learn about ourselves within them. But at a certain time, it just becomes too heavy to ignore. The nudges are too loud. It becomes uncomfortable in your body, literally. Also, I got this like little eyebrow thing off of TikTok shop and I really fuck with it. I don't ever buy things. These are the two things I've bought off of TikTok shop lately and I really like them. Like, I typically do not buy things off of TikTok shop. This is why I think they call it a glow up, because you literally go into the darkness, find your light, and you bring it to your consciousness and you integrate it. You become more integrated with your shadow, which makes you more powerful. Makes you unstoppable, really. Especially if part of that is getting to a point where you can trust your intuition over everything else. Babes, trust me, I am a 7th house Pisces stellium, Pisces sun, Pisces Venus, Pisces fucking Saturn. I know what it means to go and face your shadow in all of your fucking karmic partners, okay? If you don't learn anything from me, learn that, all right?